Hey, my Married at First Sight fans, we got to talk about last night's episode. It was very interesting to say the least. First, we have our couples go back to their roots and share the memories that made them who they are. We have some of them are struggling to open up, and then one of the wives outrages the man of her husband, second guesses their relationship. Welcome back to Romance Review TV. It's Lady T. I got another recap for you guys. Married at First Sight, Nashville, Season 16, Episode number 13. I'm not acting crazy with you tonight. And without any further ado, let's talk about this episode. So, the experts gave our couples the opportunity to face their past by writing letters to their younger selves. Now, it's obvious that many of them have faced challenges that they may even still be combating as adults. But I will say it was nice to see them really being so open about their fears and any insecurities that they may have. And I know most of us hope that, these couples really take this information to heart and use it to understand their spouses. So let's start off with our first couple on the hot seat, Heiress and Jasmine. So Jasmine, while discovering her attraction for Heiress, it's fading very quickly. So in the beginning, she was attracted to him on a physical level, but because the state of their marriage is what it is, she no longer feels that way. Now, in an effort to try to bring it all back full circle and try to reconnect, Heiress tried to attempt to share more about his childhood and how it shaped him into the person that he is. Now, although it looked like Jasmine appeared to be paying attention, all she probably heard in the conversation was that he has the tendency to run. Now, Heiress and Jasmine read letters they wrote to their younger selves. Both were very thoughtful and very honest. Now, after listening to Jasmine speak on hers, a lot of things kind of begin to make sense about who she is as a person. And I know, with some of us who've been bullied in school, it definitely makes sense that she would clam up when she feels rejected or even hurt at times. And hopefully the letter that, she offered Heiress gave Heiress more insight into who she is as a person. Now, we got to admit, Heiress was trying to make an attempt to be more vulnerable this episode. And that's definitely a difference in some of the conversations now versus earlier in their marriage, when the only conversation that really came up was when he talked only about sex. So now let's talk about Christopher and Nicole. Now, in this episode, Nicole shared more details about her past with Chris. Now, like most teenagers, she had a whole rebellious phase. I guess we kind of a little confused why she thought what she did during that time period would affect her marriage now. And I do understand that sometimes what happens as a child and what you do can go on and move forward into adulthood. So maybe that's it. But it wasn't like it was a secret love child or her going to prison or something that she hasn't told us yet so far. Or could it possibly be that she still doesn't believe that maybe she's worthy of a nice guy like Chris and real love? Now, let's talk about Chris, because he has his own crosses to bear in relation to his childhood and how it shaped his relationship with his own father. Now, it looks like that his marriage to Nicole has helped him become more closer to his father in some ways. So hopefully, she, meaning Nicole, recognized some of these good things and did not focus on the bad things that can actually happen. Okay, next up is Clint and Gina. Not too much for these two this episode. So with Clint and Gina, both took each other to special places that shaped their lives. Now, these two, they've come a very long way, and now they're able to relate to each other and even enjoy spending time together. Gina even invites some of her staff over to grill Clint. And I would say that meeting was a success. And he got a lot more insight into his wife and how she relates to others and even her own job. Okay, and last but certainly not least, Shaquille and Kirsten. And they had the most drama this episode. So Shaquille was shocked when Kirsten revealed that not only is she ready to have a baby, she's ready to also buy a house.
I love the fact that you're talking about like seeing us living here and the kids running around. Could you see yourself buying a house soon?
I see it in the future.
As long as we, continue this marriage, you'll have to get us a house. You'll have to buy us a house.
I will have to buy it?
So husband bought me a house.
So you don't want to have no parts in helping me buy the house?
I mean, I'll be on the deed.
How does that work?
Oh, it works every day in marriages.
It was just a Shaquille, no, you gonna buy me a house.
Yeah.
I don't think those are questions in my eyes.
I think if you don't get what you want, then you think it's a failure, or you think you're gonna feel some type of way.
I just feel like he's over right now.
Can I talk?
You are acting crazy. Here you go acting crazy. I'm not acting crazy what you're saying.
And you obviously can tell that this is not what Shaq envisioned, but she makes her expectations clear. Now, later, Kirsten explained more about her childhood and why she has to set the bar so high. Her father was the ultimate provider, and she wants her husband to be as well. The question is Shaq willing to do this? Now, I don't know. It's early in their marriage, a little bit over 30 days. Are they both quite ready for that level of responsibility? I mean, it is future thinking, but are they actually going to try to get past decision day is the question. He's obviously looking for a partnership, but it's not the my way or the highway type of situation. So also in this episode, we had a very interesting twist with this double date with Shaq and Kirsten and Heiress and Jasmine. We also had a scene where Shaq offers some words of encouragement to Jasmine. He also shares some of his obstacles he faces in his own marriage. Now, he is bothered that he still haven't met Kirsten's father. And I don't know if it's just me or you guys, but does it seem like Shaq and Jasmine may have been a better match? I mean, immediately I can pretty much see the chemistry and how Jasmine was very relaxed and open with Shaq in a way that she hasn't been with Heiress. And I know on social media, especially on Facebook, they have been talking about this whole swapping scenario with these two couples. I mean, it might be an interesting situation to watch. Also, what was very interesting is the segment on the after party speaking on Shaq's expressions of himself and being emotionally vulnerable. And it's pretty interesting to watch.
He's not having my back. I don't feel like he's not saying like Kirsten is
you
being
feel a little
proactive.
thrown under the bus?
Yes, he's not saying like Kirsten is being proactive. Like she called her dad. I know she's working on getting us, set up to meeting each other, but he didn't ever show that he was frustrated or upset.
Oh, so your issue is that he never brings the fact that it bothers him to you.
He's told us.
He's told you guys?
Yeah, that it.
But it's
he
like you
speaks
tell all
highly of
these
family.
people, and then it's like,
But I also think like as a man and as a black man, like you're taught to like be so strong, right?
No, I'm gonna stop you right there because Shaquille is very open and he's very vulnerable and he always tells people how he feels. So it's not the fact anything about being a man and being strong and being black. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do about him feeling comfortable and coming to me and having that conversation with his wife.
So I have conversations like this with men, and from what I've gathered and understand is that men need to make sure that there's a safe space to allow themselves to be vulnerable. What they have found and what conversations that I've heard is that, yes, like Heiress said, they're taught to be strong and not show emotion because they're the leaders, the builders, the creators in society. I understand that. The other part is that some men do not feel comfortable being extremely vulnerable around women because they don't know if it's a safe space to do so. If that woman is now going to look at them differently, because sometimes if a man is too emotional, and we've seen it in comment sections on social media, that they do look at that man differently. They call him weak. Stop crying. Stop being a baby. Why do you man up? Stop whining about it. And at the same time, I've also heard, speaking with men, sometimes women that choose to do that also use it against them and exploit them in conversations later. So a lot of men do not find it extremely welcome to be as vulnerable with women as they would hope. And I know women ask for that a lot, but at the same time, is that something that, not all, but some women can actually deal with? Because sometimes women do see that man differently. And at the same time, some women do use that vulnerability against them in conversations later. Just my thought. Okay, so let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. Do you think that Jasmine and Shaq actually have some chemistry? Are Kirsten's expectations too high? And is Nicole too stuck in her past? So I hope you enjoyed this recap. Stay tuned for other updates and recaps on this channel. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. Bye.